Good day, everyone. I'm Cassandra K.A. Alisla, your reporter for today, and the topic that we are going to discuss is about Chapter 3 Visual Design Elements of Page Design. As with the good organizing principles discussed in Chapter 1, good visual design can help your readers find the information that they need. So, this chapter covers the visual elements of technical documents, another basic building block in technical communication. So, visual design, a term that refers to creating clear, readable, and visually interesting documents through judicious use of page design, including white space, headings, lists, font choice, and of graphic design elements. So, the first element that we have is the white space. The term white space simply means the open places on the page with no text or graphics. Literally, the white space, assuming you are using white paper. White space does not literally mean an empty space with a white background. It is simply a marked space in the design. So white space is the space between layouts, lines of paragraphs, between paragraphs, and so on. White space not only creates harmony, balance, and helps to brand design. It can also be used to lead a reader from one element to another. So the main goal of white space is to make the website look simple and uncluttered, and to deliver information that our readers will enjoy and appreciate. Readers connect white space with important information in technical communication. You should use white space in a way that first attracts attention, second guides the eye to important information on the page, relieves the boredom of reading text, and helps readers organize information. So here are some opportunities for using white space effectively. First, margins. Most readers appreciate generous use of white space around the edges of text. Marginal space tends to frame your document so the text does not appear to push the boundaries of the page. Margins is a space separating text or other elements from the edge of the paper, commonly adjusted through the page setup. Most programs allows for the top, bottom, left, and right margins to be set. Margins are important to all of your designs. They create an invisible frame around your content and allow visual breathing room. It also helps to define where a line of text begins and ends. So here's the sample image for the use of white space margins. Next is hanging indents. Some writers place headers and subheads at the left margin and indent the text block an additional inch or so, as shown in figure 3:2. Headers and subheads force the reader's eyes and attention to the text block. Another common use of hanging indents is bulleted and number lists. So, hanging indents is also known as a second line indent. Sets of the first line of a paragraph by positioning it at the margin, and then indenting each subsequent line of the paragraph. Hanging indents are used in the works of cited or bibliography of MLA, APA, Chicago, and other various citation styles. They allow the reader to easily set the breaks between separate citations and quickly scan a work's cited or bibliography for author's name. And here's the sample picture of the use of white space of hanging indents. Next is line spacing. Line spacing is the distance between lines of text. So line spacing is the term used to define the vertical space between two lines of the text. Specifically, it's the exact distance between two adjacent baselines. It is the amount of space between the baselines of each line of text. Line spacing is important because it gives multiple lines of text optimum legibility. Next, paragraph length refers to the number of sentences in a paragraph and the number of words in those sentences. Paragraphs give readers a sense where one unit ends and another begins. Paragraph length is important. Too many long paragraphs in a document may make it difficult to read. Too many short paragraphs and it could seem disjointed. So this two picture shows paragraph on page. The first one, as you can see, we have the one long paragraph on page, and it can be described as the poor format. The better format is the second one, several paragraphs on page, because if we use this first format or the first picture, it would give us difficulty to follow and read the information or sentences that is written in the paragraph. And lastly, we have the heading space and ruling. White space helps the reader connect related information immediately. Always have slightly more space above a heading than below it. That extra space visually connects the heading with the material into which it leads. In a double-spaced document, for example, you would add a third line of a space between the heading and the text that came before it. In addition, some writers add a horizontal line across the page above headings to emphasize the visual break. So, in summary, well-used white space can add to the persuasive power of your text. As with any design element, however, it can be overused and abused. Make sure there is a reason for every decision you make with regard to white space on your pages. And that's all. Thank you for listening.